There has been a major blow to the NSA today because a judge decided to actually pick up the Constitution and read it. I know, very radical. A federal judge has ruled that the, quote, wholesale collection of the phone record metadata of all U.S. citizens likely violates the Fourth Amendment and is unconstitutional. To which I respond, it's only what I've been saying all along. It's only what every progressive outlet has been saying all along. It's only what every libertarian outlet has been saying all along. It's only what most Republican outlets have been saying all along. The only people who said, no, that's not the case at all. No, it's totally constitutional, are sellout establishment Democrats and sellout establishment Republicans. The people with the power, who, by the way, take money from the companies, the private companies that are spying on you. It's those people who said, oh, no problem, nothing to see here. Don't worry that I have a financial interest in telling you there's nothing to see. Just nothing to see, don't worry about it. Everybody else said, this is a problem. This is a rather huge problem. So in the decision, Judge Leon, by the way, side note, that sounds funny to me. It just sounds like one of those judge shows that you'd see on like Channel 7 in the middle of the day. But there's actual, federal judge here. Judge Leon said the technology used by the government is, quote, almost Orwellian. You don't say! Quote, plaintiffs have a very significant expectation of privacy in an aggregated collection of their telephone metadata covering the last 5 years. The government does not cite a single instance in which analysis of the NSA's bulk metadata collection stopped an imminent attack or otherwise aided the government in achieving any objective that was time-sensitive in nature. So let me put that in just flat-out layman terms for you. It didn't do shit. And remember, there was a segment that we did on this show where I actually took each case. There were over 50 cases where the government said, oh, we foiled over 50 terrorism plots. So I went through every single one of them. We whittled it down, and how many were left at the end that they actually stopped due to the spying? Donut. It was bullshit. The spying didn't stop any terrorism. Meanwhile, at the same time, what did the spying do? It just flat out invaded your privacy. So there were NSA people spying on international sex phone calls between our soldiers and their girlfriends or boyfriends. They're spying on World of Warcraft. What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, things that just, even at face value, are ridiculous. They say, quote, the judge says, the program infringes of that degree of privacy that the founders enshrined in the Fourth Amendment. The author of our Constitution, James Madison, would be aghast. Hear, hear, Judge Leon. May I just say, Judge Leon for the Supreme Court. I mean, that's well done. Now, here are the two twists in the story. Number one, the person who actually won the case and brought the case up is the head of a group called Judicial Watch. His name is Larry Klayman. This guy's an absolute lunatic. This is a guy who we've made fun of on the show multiple times because he's, called Obama a Muslim. Kenyan said he should leave office immediately. He thinks that there's like a communist plot to take over the United States, thinks Obama should be impeached. I mean, I can go on and on. The guy's just a lunatic. But hey, and this is my point in bringing this up, liberals, calm down, breathe. On this issue, he's with us, and he's correct. If you actually care about civil liberties abuses, not just under George W. Bush, but under President Obama. So it's not a partisan thing. If you're consistent on the issue, you should support Larry Klayman on this one thing. Doesn't mean you hop on board with everything else he says, because like I said, on other things, he's crazy. And the second thing, the decision is stayed, pending appeal, and has no immediate effect. So that's very important. What that means is that the NSA is still going to spy. And the only way that they will stop spying is if when it gets appealed, the other courts agree with this lower court here. And for that, all I have to say is fingers crossed. Let's just hope that the higher courts are equally as rational and they'll agree with this decision here. And that's yet to be seen because, as we know, the Supreme Court, if it gets all the way over there, they lean conservative. And that could be a problem because the type of conservatism they're in favor of is not small government conservatism. It's the keep the establishment the way it is conservatism, which would mean, yeah, spy all day and long. Grandma Dorothy makes apple pies and watches reruns of Matlock all day and Murder, She Wrote? Yeah, terrorism suspect. Go ahead, look at her all day. But now we can be hopeful at least because we have a fighting chance. And just to refresh your memory here, this is the text of the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution. Quote, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized." So, in other words, the founders could not have been more crystal clear. You can't do these broad warrants that allows you to collect everybody's email, everybody's text messages, everybody's phone calls, everybody's fucking World of Warcraft game, everybody's anything. You can't do that. You need specific warrants. This is clearly unconstitutional, and this court got it right.